Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to episode 8 of NiC's Entertainment Talk. Look, I know I took a break, kind of. I took the rest of the week off from last week. I had family over, and then I had things with my job and everything. So everything's been kind of chaotic right now. But I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna post probably one episode today, an episode tomorrow. Probably just do episodes for the rest of the week. Kind of make it up for the days that I missed last week. Today is Tuesday. I was supposed to post yesterday. I didn't. Had to do overtime yesterday. Everybody knows how that is, though. But anyways, I'm gonna still do movies like it was Monday. No problem. Today I want to talk about the Matrix and the whole Matrix franchise, I guess you could say. The reason I want to talk about this movie is because they're making another Matrix movie. I don't know if it's a remake. I don't know if it's like just I think it was Matrix 4 they titled it, from what I saw in this article. But I think it's kind of weird. I don't know why they would keep making the Matrix franchise. Well, I know why, because it's going to make a buttload of money. But other than that, I have no idea where they're going to go in the story, because they're going to have Carrie-Anne Moss in there, and they're going to have Keanu Reeves. Lawrence Fishburne, however, claimed that he hasn't been contacted at all by Warner Brothers to reprise his role for Morpheus. So that's kind of weird. I don't know why you would just bring back Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss and not Morpheus. Morpheus played like a key character in the whole franchise. It wouldn't be Matrix without Lawrence Fishburne for sure. Everything would just be weird. But yeah, the Wachowskis directed the movie. Are directing. Well, I think it's just one Wachowski. I don't know which one, but I know there's just one directing it so far, and she wrote the story and everything. So I don't know. I mean, the fact that it's written by the original writer, one of the original writers, and directed by one of the original directors, I don't think it would be that bad. I mean, they did freaking kill the second and third one. Oh, the third one was just terrible. I did not like it at all. But I mean, the first one, The Matrix, the original 1990, I think it was 1999. Yeah. That one is freaking epic. And I don't know, that's one of the best movies I think was ever created, because it, I think mainly because of the story. And the story itself is freaking unbelievable, and it's amazing. And the way they portrayed it, like with such style and I don't want to say class, because it's not class. I don't know, the style of it is cool. The way they have all those, leather jackets and everything, the way they wear the shades, the sunglasses, the way they fight and everything, since it's all about computers. That's all it is, living in this computer world, but they went about it with like, instead of nerds just liking it, it's everybody likes it because of the fighting and everything. Like, if there was like no fighting, if they eliminated that, no gun violence or anything in the movie, you would just have a bunch of nerds liking the movie because they can understand it better. So that's what I think they did a good job on, is portraying like a computer world and what goes on in a computer, in a simulation and all that. And they portrayed it in like a kind of this retro, I think you could call it, style way, yeah, and everybody likes the film. Everybody that have seen it has loved it, from my experience, from the people that I know. And if you don't like The Matrix, I don't know, maybe you just didn't get it, or maybe you weren't watching it. Maybe you're on your phone on Instagram doing other things, you weren't paying attention, because I don't know, I think everybody who has a soul likes this movie. If you don't like this movie, you're kind of soulless. But anyways, yeah, I mean, the reason I think they made, I don't know if the original Matrix was supposed to be like a standalone film. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I think they got too carried away with itself in the second and third one. The second one was still cool because it had like epic action sequences, and like that whole freeway scene was pretty badass. The whole Neo fighting off all those Agent Smith characters, that was pretty cool, but it was like that was totally unnecessary. And I think the whole concept of bringing back Agent Smith after freaking Neo got rid of him in the first movie was very unnecessary. I don't know why they did that. And it's like they try to create like this whole Shakespeare kind of, I don't know, dialogue, but it was just, it kind of got lost in itself, and then it would get confusing, and then you're like, what the hell? And they kept asking each other, they kept answering questions with questions, and I don't know. I don't know why they did that. But if they would have left it like Neo and the rest of the gang were going and taking out the rest of the agents, and like they're I don't know, like in the second movie, another like tough agent like Agent Smith came about, you know, just introduce a whole nother character. That would have been cool. I think like, oh snap, we got to worry about this agent. He's tougher than Agent Smith. We got to find a way to overcome him and take him out. You know, like he becomes the new leader of all the rest of the agents. I think that would have been a better story. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like I have a say in it. You know what I mean? But it's cool because there's in the first movie there's a lot of things. There's a lot of hidden gems in there. You know what I mean? First off, the style of it, like the way everybody dressed and everything, that was freaking cool. You know, and the whole the red and blue pill, that is probably one of the most like iconic scenes from that movie, because everybody refers to it nowadays, you know, and other movies have, you know, portrayed it in their own way, you know, like I think the Secret Life of Walter Mitty, that was a Ben Stiller movie. There was like a red car and there was a blue car, and I think he ended up choosing the red car, you know. So that was pretty cool, and that was, you know, they ripped that off from the Matrix, you know, completely. But yeah, I think that thing, that whole scene was pretty amazing, and it really speaks to a lot of people, you know, because the thing is that a lot of people had that decision in life, you know, do I do this and my life is going to go a totally different direction, or do I do this and my life is going to go be a little bit crazier, you know, I'm going to do a lot of different things, you know, it has a lot to do with real life, you know, and the decisions that we make, you know. And that's what I liked about that whole scene, you know, is that he presented, you know, he kind of told him what was going to happen, you know, if he were to choose whichever pill. Like, this is going to wake you up. You're going to see the world for how it really is, and you're never going to be the same, and you can never go back, you know. And then he's given another decision where you could go back to your regular life. You'll never see us again. You'll never know this even happened. Everything like that. It was all a dream, you know. So I don't know if like people are given decisions like that, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have faced decisions like that in their lifetime, where like, you know, like a real case scenario, like you go to a doctor, you're fat, you go to a doctor, and the doctor tells you, hey, if you don't lose weight, you got diabetes. If you don't lose weight, we're gonna have to chop off one of your legs, you know. Or if you go out and you lose weight, you could keep your legs, you know. You'll kind of control the diabetes a little bit. You know, that whole thing. I don't know. That's one of my favorite scenes in there. Another favorite scene that I like from the original Matrix movie was when Morpheus wanted Neo to hit him. He wanted him to hit him. Because the thing is that Neo could have hit him if he wanted to. But the thing is that Neo didn't. It's hard to explain this whole scene, but the thing is, Morpheus wanted to kind of push him, get him out of his limits, you know, get him out of his mind, you know, kind of free him from limitations, from limiting himself, you know. And Morpheus really wanted him to hit him, You know, regardless of how good he was fighting him, he he wanted him to push him to his limits. You know, because when it's two guys just fight, because we're all created equal, we know that. And the thing is, if two people got in a fight, one person's gonna get hit and the other person's gonna get hit. It's not because he's a better fighter. It's just that, you know, we each have our flaws, and sometimes we find, you know, when we're fighting somebody, we find a flaw in that person, you know, and we're able to hit them. So the thing is that Neo couldn't touch him, you know? And then finally Neo's like, you know, the hell with this, I had it. And he went for it and proved that he could hit him. And Morpheus was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. I want, go the limit. You know what I mean? You know, push yourself past the limit, you know? And that's what he was doing. He was trying to free his freaking mind. And I think that's another thing that we can relate to in the real world as well. You know, a lot of us have a problem with, you know, we set a goal. And the thing is that we don't like to push beyond that goal, or we don't push ourselves enough to that goal. We create all these, you know, limits for ourselves, you know, and we always create excuses. I think that's the main thing. We always create excuses and stuff. And I like how in this movie it shows us like this regular guy out of nowhere. Everybody's telling him he's the one and everything, and they're pushing him to be that person, you know, because they see it in him. They know it's him, you know. But I think that's great. I think there's great messages in this movie. There's a lot of messages in this movie, I think, and it's great. But then the second one comes along, you know, and it kind of gets a little more exaggerated, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, what the hell? You know, what's going on? It's not like the first Matrix where it had a great, amazing story. You know, like I said, they could have carried out that same plot from the first movie where, oh shit, there's another agent, you know, but we still got to, we got to defeat that new tough agent. That would have been a cool story, I think, you know, and carried it on. And, but yeah, it was, you know, the second one was decent. You know, I think what really carried that film was the action scenes and everything. The third one, however, it was just like, holy crap, when is this thing gonna end? You know, it's just repetitive. And I hated the ending fight, you know, at the end. It was like two Supermen going at it, and it's like, I didn't pay to see a damn freaking superhero movie, you know. They're all flying and throwing. It reminds me of that, who was it? It was Superman and what was his name? I can't remember the name. From Man of Steel. It was like that whole fight, you know, it was just super exaggerated, throwing each other, flipping like 20 times. And it's like, I want to see the classic, you know, Kung Fu on the ground, feet on the ground. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, we'll see how the fourth one is. I hope they don't it doesn't look like they're exaggerating it, you know, from what I've seen, like the pictures and stuff that I've seen from the set. It doesn't look like they're exaggerating it, because you see Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss on a motorcycle and everything. You know, Carrie-Anne Moss looks good. I mean, as far as like being in shape and everything, she looks really good. She looks like she didn't put on any weight at all. It's, you know, and I think they got her in that tight suit again. You know, but with Keanu Reeves, he didn't cut his hair. You know, he's got that John Wick style, you know, from what I've seen. And I don't know, that kind of throws me off, because, you know, Neo pretty much has like short hair in there, clean shave. So that'll be pretty different, I guess. You know, we'll see John Wick as Neo, you know. But I have a prediction of where they're going to take the Matrix 4, and I hope they go this route, honestly, is that the whole, you know, prequel films or whatever, the 1, 2, and 3, it was like all a vision of what could happen. And the thing is that they try to go a different route to keep Trinity and Neo alive, which I think would be pretty interesting, would be pretty cool to see, you know, how they do things differently. But the thing is, if that happens, I can't see why they wouldn't put in a Lawrence Fishburne, you know. I don't know, but supposedly they're gonna have a younger gentleman play Morpheus, and it's gonna be like when Morpheus was a lot younger. I don't know, in 20s or early 20s or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, and supposedly there's supposed to be a young Carrie Ann Moss and a young Keanu Reeves in there, like a Neo and Trinity. So we'll see how that route goes. Another thing I wanted to talk about too, I know it's movie day, but I still wanted to talk about Enter the Matrix, I think it was called. I remember me and my older brother were obsessed with that game. And it was cool because you could play as Jada Pinkett Smith, her character, I think it was Niobe, and then the other character, what was his name? Holy crap. It was an easy name too. I'll have to look it up. Oh man. I'm pissed. Yeah, but what was his name? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't want to spend like 20 minutes trying to figure it out either. When I could just click, I guess I could go and check it out. But yeah, I mean, that whole game was pretty badass, and it had such, such style in there, and the whole slow motion stuff you can do to kind of beat up people in that game. So that was, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty badass game. I think a lot of people back then thought it was a badass game. And I think they should remake that game. I really think they do. I really think they should, because I think it was a popular game back then, and it was such a long game. I remember. I mean, you really go through everything in that game, and man, it was awesome. It was freaking badass. I loved playing as I think it was Niobe or Naomi. No, it wasn't Naomi. It was Niobe. I don't know. Like I said, I gotta start refreshing my Niobe. What am I doing? Yeah. And Link. No, Link. No, Link is one of the hackers. I'm sorry. See, I'm over here getting excited and everything. But anyways, yeah, Enter the Matrix. I think it was a badass movie or a badass game. I think we should get a remake. Whoever's in charge. I think Warner Brothers is in charge of that. So I think they should remake that game, because I think it'll sell off the freaking shelves like crazy. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I could go more in depth with the Matrix later on. I want to start making longer videos as well. I want to get I want to get up to like freaking 30 minutes and stuff now. So I'll probably be posting this videos, once I get back on track with everything, back in the swing of everything. I'm probably going to post 3 times a week again, like I have been. And then what I'll do is I'll create longer videos, that way I could get more in depth with this stuff. I can only talk about so much when I'm limiting myself to like 15 minutes, But yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to talk about game remakes, which ones I think were necessary, which ones I think weren't, which ones I think were really good and better than the original. And yes, that is possible in video games. Just because of the graphics, the graphics look amazing, and then the story's there already, so you just got the graphics, the gameplay 10 times better than when it was, 20, 30 years ago. But yeah, we're going to talk about game remakes, why I think some were necessary and weren't. But yeah, and then we got to talk about Mr. Robot still. I'm sorry. I posted on my Instagram that we're going to talk about that. But we'll talk about that for sure on Thursday. Like I said, I'll keep posting for the rest of this week, kind of make it up for missing last week, But yeah, okay. I think that's it for today. Like I said, I'll get more into depth in Matrix later on in my whole series. So I'll get more in depth with that if you guys want to hear more about it, And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start doing a little bit more research, because I've been being sloppy lately and forgetting names and characters that I shouldn't. So I'll be doing my homework, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you tomorrow.